It is 7:13 and time to check in with Lorraine.
Yeah, she's at the CASA Center getting a tour of its newest facility. Good morning, Lorraine.
Good morning, everybody, and it doesn't get any cuter than this. Take a look down. They like to kiss the bubbles, and they just love that wall. Oh my gosh. So Wanda, when I arrived this morning, I looked around and I almost missed the building because I was expecting like a 2-story house. This is a 40,000 square foot building.
Yes, it is.
What's it built for?
Well, it is a purpose-built trauma-informed mental health facility for children, adolescents, and their families. It's really one of its kind, probably in Alberta and Canada.
It's absolutely stunning. So you take a peek around while we talk about CASA. What is CASA?
CASA is a mental health and addiction services for children, youth, and families, age 0 to 18. We offer 20 different services across the city, as well as probably from about Red Deer north primarily. We support services, rural services as well. We provide services for infant preschool all the way to residential inpatient care for psychiatric services.
So people come here on a daily basis, is that right?
That's right, yep.
Okay, Stephanie is a mom. If you wouldn't mind, Stephanie, I'm so happy that you're here with us this morning.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about your story and your involvement, your personal one with CASA.
Our personal involvement, our 17-year-old daughter, Emily, we lost her to suicide in November of 2013. And she was in the CASA House program in from March to July of 2013 in Sherwood Park. And she was discharged when her time was up there because of funding restraints. And we were sent home with her to our rural community where there were no supports for her, such as this. So she went from full-time, lots of specialist care to us trying to struggle to keep her alive, which it ended very badly. But if there was a facility like this available to her when she was done, I know that she would still be here today because of all the peer support available for the kids and the ongoing therapy and everything.
So what does it mean to you as a mom then when you look around a building like this? Are you glad for it?
We are very much. Since we lost Emily, we've become advocates for mental health prevention, suicide prevention, mental health awareness. And so we're participating with CASA in all of their functions. We do a memorial motorcycle ride that supports CASA because they always need more money for their programs. So.
Okay, when we come back, we're going to check out these magical programs, starting with the Snoozled Room. We'll have that for you in just a few moments. Snoozled.
All right, thanks, Lorraine.
All righty, 7:52. We're going to check in again with Lorraine now.
Yes, she is at the CASA Center this morning. Lorraine.
As you enjoy your morning cup of coffee, have we got a lot to show you. This building had its grand opening just last night, so it's so new that this artwork is going to be installed today. Is that right, Nadine?
That's right.
This is Maya and Allie, who are 2 CASA kids on the Kids Council, and this painting has very special meaning to you.
We have someone very special in our community named Vera Kennedy. She's nearly 90 years old, and she has prepared most of our artwork for this building.
90 years old, and did she donate them?
She donated many of them, yes.
Oh my gosh, so this is a real sense of community with this building. In fact, you placed it smack dab in the middle of Allendale. Why that as opposed to maybe a hospital setting?
That's the very special part about CASA. If you become a CASA child, you become a CASA family, and we are very family-based.
Wow. Okay, we're going to show you some of the very specialized rooms for CASA. Take a peek inside the Snoozled Room. So Wanda, we have your daughter Katie in there who's going to show us some of the special things that have been installed. First of all, what's the idea behind the Snoozled Room?
Well, a Snoozled Room was actually developed numerous years ago in Netherlands, and the word actually is derived from the term snuggle and to snooze. And so this is a multi-sensory room that we use as an adjunct therapy. Much of the work that we do in this room is to basically pair the multimodal senses and the environment along with human interaction, which allows for a different kind of communication, a different experience. It also, there's some evidence to show that it allows for different processing of trauma, and because our experiences are stored in our body. So when we combine our mental and physical experience, that can be helpful in the therapy that we do.
So who typically would use a room like this?
Various kids. We have numerous children across the spectrum from 0 to 18. So we use this with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder diagnoses, as well as developmental disabilities and developmental trauma.
The Snoozled Room, have you ever seen anything like it? And this is the coolest beanbag because when you sit on it, it actually vibrates. So, wow. When we come back, they have an observation area. What's that all about and who would use it? We're going to find out in just a few minutes.
All right, time to check in once again with Lorraine now.
Yeah, she is at the CASA Center this morning. Lorraine, the center comes with some pretty cool features.
Honestly, you'd think we were on a CSI set or maybe Hawaii Five-0. Check out this mirror. Does that look like any two-way mirror you've ever seen? This is pretty cool, Wanda.
It is. We are just thrilled to be able to have this space. It's state of the art. This two-way mirror offers a space for us here, a therapeutic space to be able to provide assessment and treatment for mental health for children 0 to 18.
So what kinds of things would they be doing in that room and why would they come to it in the first place?
Well, typically what happens in the room is that we allow children and family to interact as they normally would, to be able to assess them and to provide feedback, both to the families as well as sometimes to students, as we're a learning facility.
All right, there's 12 of these rooms, but this room is only half of the equation. Take a peek inside this room. That's the other half. And Tamara, who typically would be in there?
Inside this room, we could have lots of different folks. Typically, we might have a multidisciplinary team observing or assessing a child or a parent. So that might include a child psychiatrist, a social worker, psychologist, oftentimes a nurse, working together to come up with a formulation or determine what's going on.
So they get their privacy, they get to watch. Do you ever tape it so that people get to watch it back?
Absolutely. We can do some videotaping now with the technology, and we can have parents look back at how they've interacted with their child. We could reinforce some of the great stuff that they've done, which is sometimes really helpful for some parents that are struggling.
It sure would be. Now, let's talk about CASA in general. This building, as we mentioned earlier this morning, actually had its grand opening last night. 40,000 square feet of all kinds of facilities and treatment rooms. Nadine, who would use CASA services?
So we treat children from 0 to 18. We see about 4,000 children and their families a year, and that's about 200 appointments a day will come through our doors out of 4 facilities.
Yeah, this isn't the only facility.
We have 3 other ones.
Well, okay, this one, what did it cost to build this?
Well, it's $24 million. We got $17 million from the government, Alberta government, 2 years ago, and we still have 1.2 left to raise. So we're just launching our community phase of our capital campaign right now.
And it's situated right in the heart of Allendale, in the heart of the community, because that's who it serves. When we come back, sleep and nutrition, how important are they to good mental health? We're going to find out together in just a few minutes.
I hate those stories about how important sleep is. Just...
I think it's more for kids.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, for more info on CASA Center, you can call 780-400-2271 or check them out online, casaservices.org. It is 20 to 9 now, and it's time to check in with Lorraine.
She's at the CASA Center this morning. Good morning, Lorraine.
As we mentioned, this building had its grand opening last night. What surprised me was to walk into the kitchen and see something as stupendous as this. Teresa, what's the purpose of having a kitchen here? You work as a child care counselor with adolescents. You're a specialist. How is this so important to what you're trying to do?
It's really important that we teach the teens to come down together and have lunch as a family. We're all one big family. We incorporate mindfulness, safety. We play games down here. As you can see, I've got my small group set up here already. So everything that you can imagine would be incorporated in this kitchen.
Okay, we've got some girls working very hard. So first of all, Allie, what group are you representing?
I'm representing the CASA Youth Council.
And what do you do?
Right now, we're working on a magazine and to reduce stigma around mental health and for teens.
Maya, what are the biggest obstacles when it comes to teens who are struggling with mental health issues?
I think getting help is the biggest problem, and especially in schools right now, it's very hard.
Is it hard to admit that you need help?
Definitely, that's probably one of the hardest things.
And then what about accessing the help?
that's difficult as well, but we are here to give you the information to get help and make sure you're okay.
Okay, so now let's talk to Dr. Nielsen, who's a pediatric neurologist. You wanted to talk about two things. Number one, nutrition. Why is that so important?
Well, nutrition is a very integral part to your overall health, and to explore that with each of the patients is extremely important to see if there's anything from that perspective that can help them out.
And what about sleep?
Well, sleep and mental health are so intimately connected. The behaviors and hygiene around health are extremely important.
And how do people plug into your services here at CASA?
Most of my patients come through referrals from the specialty programs here.
Okay, so if the big challenge is accessing the programs and asking for help and finding out what there is out there, how do we plug into CASA, Anna?
Right, so if you want to get to CASA, if your children are under 5, you can go to our website, which is casaservices.org, and there's a number right there. You can call us directly, and our intake girls will assist you. If your child is between 5 and 18, you need to go through the Alberta Health Services regional intake, and that number again is on the CASA website, and then you'd call up Alberta Health Services intake, ask for CASA, and they'd help you get to our program.
They do such important work here, from babies and infants straight up to the ages of 18 who are struggling with mental health issues. If you need to plug into their services, give them a call. I hope that we've given you some insight, and in the meantime, enjoy your day, everybody.